kind of thought they might have been just a little bit tight at the start of practice, but they loosened up and had a heck of a practice. I think it's, like I said yesterday, my experience has told me that it's really important to normalize things as much as possible, and it's hard. It's hard because of the significance of this game. But I thought that these guys, they got over it real quick, whatever butterflies or anxiety they had towards starting practice, and had a really good practice. So that's good for us. And we just put another one in the books, have good meetings this afternoon, and come back out tomorrow and keep working. So there's no magic here. You just got to go out and execute and play good football and do what you're supposed to do your job, play hard, make tackles, make the blocks, make the catches, protect the quarterback, get after the quarterback, protect the ball, get after the ball. All those football coach speak cliches, I can give them all to you. So.
You talk often about preparing for a scheme rather than players. How is it more difficult with a team like this? With so many players like that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to slight any of their guys, but there's 4 guys on their offense that just jump out at you. Matt Barkley jumps out at you. Marquise Lee jumps out at you. Robert Woods jumps out at you. Silas Red jumps out at you. And so I still think that it's important that you learn the scheme, because that's ultimately what's going to help you have success. But with a team like this, if you don't put a little extra emphasis on those guys, they can really get after you. The trouble with it is that there's not one, there's 4 and 5, because they're other running back, they're third wide, they're tight end. I mean, they've got them all over the place. That's why they're, such a great offense. So, you got to have some wrinkles in what you do, but you still have to stick to the fundamentals, the things that you know best.
When you make up your scout team, knowing those 4 guys, do you put guys there that you think can emulate that, or just kind of?
You try, but I mean, who in the nation, in the entire nation, unless, like I said, unless we get Andre Johnson to come out here and practice, it's going to be hard to emulate Marquise Lee. Unless we can get Brandon Marshall to come out and practice, it's going to be hard to emulate Woods. So, but I'll tell you what, our look team guys take a lot of pride in what they do. Jerry Neuheisel has been just a star all year on scout team, and it's fun to watch him work and kind of adopt the personality of the quarterback that we're facing. I think he takes a lot of pride in it, and I think he pushes our defense and forces us to be right on it. He's been a real asset to our defense this year, Jerry Neuheisel has, just with the way he emulates the opponent's quarterback.
This week he didn't have to dye his hair either. That's emulating the quarterback.
No, I asked him if he could just cut it, though. Yeah, cut it down like Matt's.
Jim, high emotion game, and these are 2 of the most penalized teams in the nation. Do you have to kind of talk to your guys about being careful about emotions?
I think what's important is that it's going to be emotional. You've got to capture that emotion, because you want to have that emotion, but you got to control it. So absolutely, the last thing that I know that I want is chippiness on the field, because I think it takes away from the concentration that's necessary to perform a particular play. Like I said yesterday, the penalties that are penalties we address. The penalties that we don't think are penalties, what can you say? But the chippiness is something that we'll try at all costs to avoid. And you know what? I watch USC play on film, and I think they play with a lot of class and a lot of spirit as well. So I just don't think it's going to be an issue this week. I don't think it's going to drop to that level.
What was the ratio after last week's games of penalties you addressed and penalties you didn't address?
I can't remember.
Did the number of flags last week, is that part of what kind of disrupted your guys' timing and your flow a little at all? Or?
I mean, I don't. Yeah, I think at times. Yeah, to be honest with you, yeah, I think at times it did. There were some things going on out there that were pretty interesting, but I think it was really good for us to go through that, because it teaches us the importance of playing through it and not letting it be a distraction. So sometimes things like that, especially when you get away with a win, they can help you grow emotionally, because it's something you can point to. You can say, hey, there's certain things in a game you can't control, and you have to be able to play through it. So I always look at it as a kind of a blessing in disguise, as long as you get the win.
they've had some trouble with turnovers, and Barkley leads the Pac-12 in interceptions. Do you feel like that'll be a big part of this game, that whoever can win that turnover battle might have an advantage?
Well, I think if you look historically at football games, if you look at the win-loss ratio as it relates to turnover ratio, there's a huge correlation. One of the reasons that Matt Barkley has had a couple turnovers is because he's fearless. It's one of the things I respect about him so much, is that he's got great confidence in himself, and he's got great confidence in his scheme, and he's got great confidence in his receivers. And he's not afraid to put it in there. And, you know, great quarterbacks play that way sometimes. You know, they sometimes throw some interceptions just because they're going to take the shot. They believe so much in themselves. And he's also made some great throws, you know, to his own guys. You good? You guys got nothing from the right over here?
Peanut gallery? No, I'm good.
Okay. All right. Thank you then.